Welcome back to the Barbecue Lab. I'm David Gafford, and this is my lovely wife, Melissa. And today we're answering questions that we get all the time in real life. And so, Melissa, what's the question we're answering today?
What do I do with my leftover pulled pork?
And so what we're going to do today is we're going to teach you one of our favorite recipes called barbecue baked beans with pulled pork. All right, pulled pork is one of the great meats that we cook out on the grill, and we do it all the time, but quite often we don't eat an entire pork butt, so we'll have some pork butt left over. And that leftover, the question is, what do you do with that leftover that you have? And so we'll take that, we'll package it up, put it in some nice aluminum foil into the freezer, wrap it really tight. But then, what are we going to cook with it when we get it back out? And so one of our favorite recipes is to make baked beans with it. And so we want to give you a little bit of an idea of how we do that so you can reproduce it here at home. So Melissa, why don't you walk us through the ingredients that we use to make our baked beans?
Sure, well, we've got 2 cans of just the original recipe, Bush's baked beans. One of the cans we've drained the liquid from, but one of them we're going to go ahead and use the liquid that comes with it. We have 3 jalapenos, 1 green pepper, 1 onion, about 8 ounces or so of pulled pork, just however much you have left over that you want to use up. Then we've got 3 tablespoons?
2 tablespoons.
2 tablespoons of our barbecue rub, and then
half a tablespoon.
Half a tablespoon of our all-purpose, which is salt, pepper, and garlic powder.
And then we actually have our own barbecue sauce that we made up, and you can actually find both the rub recipe and our barbecue sauce recipe in another video. Our rub recipe is called our sweet and spicy rub, and you can find that right here on our YouTube channel. And this barbecue sauce is our favorite barbecue sauce, and we teach you how to make it in another video as well. So if you want to find either of those recipes, just look in the description below and we'll have the links to those. So what we're going to do...
I was just going to say, if you don't want to go homemade though, you can also this is about the equivalent of 1 full bottle of barbecue sauce.
Yeah, so about 16, 18 ounces, right? So what we're going to do now is we're going to take all of these ingredients, we're going to get them in the pot, and we're going to go ahead and get this out on the smoker. But before we do, one of the things that we do when we make our baked beans is we go ahead and cook off all the vegetables so we can get it to release their moisture so that we can cook off that moisture. And we're going to use the sauce and that 1 can of the liquid from the baked beans to become our sauce, all right? So we're going to start by taking just the vegetables and a little bit of the seasonings and cook them off on the stove before we get this out on the smoker. So let's do that now. All right, so we've got the vegetables off of the stove now, and they've reduced down quite a bit in size. They've let off that moisture, and we're gonna go ahead and replace that moisture with some flavorful ingredients, okay? So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start by adding our beans in. And remember, we have 1 can without any liquid and another one with the liquid. So we've actually drained one, but we're gonna put both in here right now. And now that we have the beans in, we're gonna go ahead and start by adding our barbecue sauce in next. Now remember, this barbecue sauce is right around a bottle. So if you wanna use your favorite barbecue sauce, go ahead and just put a whole bottle in there. If you wanna use our favorite barbecue sauce with the recipe you can find online, just make 1 batch. That 1 batch is right around a bottle. And then after that, we're gonna go ahead and take our pulled pork and we're gonna add that to the pot, and we're gonna go ahead and mix all of that in together. And as we mix that in together, remember, we've actually reserved right around half of our barbecue rub that we're gonna put in at this stage. Now, in the first part where we're taking the vegetables and cooking them off, we went ahead and cooked in all of our all-purpose seasoning and half of our barbecue rub. We just reserved 1 tablespoon of our barbecue rub to add here at this stage for a second stage of seasoning. Now that we have all of this incorporated together, now it's time to get this out on the grill. All right, so we've got the beans out here ready to go on the smoker. Now today we're doing this on the Oklahoma Joe's Highland model. It's one of the smokers that we have here around here at the Barbecue Lab. And we're running it between 250 and 275 today. That's our goal for where we want to hold these beans to help them concentrate and reduce in flavor. So all we're gonna do is put these beans on here. And how long are they gonna take? I don't know, maybe a couple hours, but this is the kind of thing we could throw it on the smoker, pretty much forget about it, and it's gonna be great. So we're gonna go ahead and get these on the smoker, let them roll. So we're gonna go ahead and leave these on the smoker completely uncovered rather than covering them up, because we wanna concentrate that flavor. We want the liquid to reduce and become more intense. So we're gonna leave them uncovered on the smoker, and we'll come back and check in about an hour. All right, so we've had the beans on for a little over an hour, about 250 to 275 degrees on the smoker. We're rolling some pecan smoke today, so we're getting some of that nice mild smoke flavor into the beans. So come on over, let's see what they look like. You can see we're getting some great reduction going on with these beans. They still have some good liquid in them, so we've still got another hour or so to go. But look at that, looking delicious. We're just gonna let it smoke on, keep pulling together, and we'll check in here in probably another hour or so and show you what it looks like. All right, so we're back out here at the grill. We've got the beans that have been on probably about 4 hours now, all in total. So come on over and see what they look like. Check those out. They've been taking on some great smoke color. Look at the darkness that's coming in on some of the top. Looking great. That is reduced down. Oh man, look at that. Look at that deliciousness. That, my friends, is a pot of beans. All right, for us, I'm gonna call that done. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take this inside. We're gonna go ahead and let this cool down just a little bit so it doesn't burn our mouths like a molten volcano. And we're gonna taste it here on the camera and let you know what it tastes like here in just a second. We'll see you inside. So the beans have been resting inside, so we made it so that they're not molten lava hot. And the whole idea is they're gonna be nice and hopefully pleasant to eat. These are about the temperature that we normally serve these. So let's give them a try and see what we're working with here. Ready?
That's so good.
I gotta tell you, I love what that barbecue sauce that we make brings to this party. So you can use whatever sauce you want. And let me encourage you, you want to try making that favorite barbecue sauce that we have on our channel. It adds so much zing to this pot of beans. It's delicious. This is one you guys have to try. If you haven't made a pot of beans at home that's gonna eat like this is a perfect use for pulled pork after you've had it and you've made leftovers. Make a pot of beans like this, guys. This is a winner. So, hope you've liked this video. And if you have, make sure you give it a subscribe. Maybe click that notification bell. Make sure you get notified whenever we have a new video coming out, because our goal is to make you a better pitmaster. We want you to wow your friends and amaze your neighbors in the backyard, and we want to help you do that. So make sure you subscribe, that way we can help out. Also, if you know someone else that you cook with or that also has an interest in barbecue, maybe consider sharing this with them. We love meeting pitmasters all across the world and joining them into the Barbecue Lab family. So this has been Melissa and David from the Barbecue Lab. We're thrilled that you've joined us, and we look forward to seeing you next time.